My pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in this place. My pants below my waist and I never dance when I'm in.
Hello, everyone. Hi, BB. Hi, everyone. Hi, Travion.
Hey.
Welcome, y'all, to the Hood Conservative Podcast. Hurry up, y'all. Y'all come on in this room. Get in the room. Hey, Lisa. Nice to see you all, too. We're going to move right on with the Hood Conservative because, baby, we have a show, a real show for you guys today, and we have a very special guest. Travion can announce the guest. And I'm asking everybody that's on, and right now we have over 700 people that are on the show right now.
Wow.
It's over 700. So please, y'all, retweet the show. Retweet that show on your page so we can get more coverage for this page. And also follow my co-host Travian and follow Letitia. So welcome, Travian.
Thank you so much, Laverne, for again having me. And I am super excited today because today we have, I guess outside of Kanye West, my favorite artist in the world. His name is Big Trip, former baseball phenomenon, was in hip hop and now into country rap, changing the genre. Such a pleasure. You guys are going to enjoy looking at him, listening to him. He's such an amazing human being, and I am so excited that he's going to join us here today on the Hood Conservative. But check this out. This is a little introduction to Big Trip.
Okay.
We can't. No. The real G. Go back to the real. Are you there? G.
Looks like he might be going to the other part.
Well, he brought Trip in, so I guess he just threw Trip's picture up. I was like, you're supposed to play the real. But,
I'm here.
Real life.
Big Trip, welcome to the show, Trip. I'm going to let you talk because I know all about you, so I'm going to just let you share yourself with everybody.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you, guys.
Tell us about yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Laverne, thank you for having me. It's great to see you guys. My name is Brendan Lewis Tripodi. I go by Big Trip. New York raised, born and raised in New York, right outside of the city. Basically, I call myself a nomad. I kind of, as Trevian said, I was a Division I baseball player. I got my scholarship my sophomore year of high school as the number 3 player in the country. So I kind of had my whole life kind of set up for me. And my family and everybody else was like, okay, you're the baseball player. Even my state was like, you're the baseball player. But one thing led to another, kind of got in some trouble right as I got into school. Found myself in a coma. And basically, I kind of had to restart my life. So I never stepped foot in Colorado once in my life, but just off of my belief in God. And really, it was a belief of a dream I had. I said, you know what? I'm going to be the only person in my Italian family who all live within 10 miles of each other in this small community. I said, I'm going to be the only one to step foot outside. And I went to Colorado and started my music career. And now we're about 200 shows deep in America and a few international shows as well. And as Trevi mentioned, I've done a lot of writing for other artists. I've done a lot of hip hop music, old New York hip hop, West Coast hip hop. I've written for guys like G-Eazy, a bunch of whole different people. But now we're kind of, that's why I take that yay compliment, very seriously, just because I like to do stuff that not a lot of people do. I infuse rock, hip hop, country music now is kind of where we're going a little bit with it too. So, I'm just on a ride, and like I said, welcome to the trip. That's what we're going to say. We're going to say, welcome to the trip.
So, G, can you put some volume on that reel, please?
Yeah, so we've toured a few times over the country independently, all self-funded. This was our first year that we signed with a major record label, and we've been signed with Sony Distribution for about 2 years.
Broken down, had to pick myself up off the ground. I've been low, all alone, had to build myself this home. 60 stones don't break my bones, had to smoke one to the dome.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said I'll keep my shirt on for the show, I promise.
I'm sure the audience would not mind if you decided to change your mind. So, Trip, I think we probably want to let everybody know where it is that you stand on Hollywood, being a man in the industry. And we know how weird the industry can be, just trying to hold on to your manhood, being an artist. How is that affecting you? Does it affect you? How is it that you're protecting yourself, and what's inside of you? What do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I even got the chills, when you said what's protecting me, and the first thing that went to my mind was God. As we all know, Hollywood could be a very godless place, and I spent 6 years out in Denver, and then I did the Hollywood scene for about a year and a half when I was about 23, running around with I don't want to say their names, but the very, very popular names in hip hop out there who I was doing some writing for and doing some touring for. And at the time, I was young, and I had a lot of energy, and I was a growing man. I had all the fame and all the beautiful things that you think you'd want, all the girls, everybody, all right in front of me. I was like, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then after about 6 months, and then, I was like, all right, I'm kind of getting tired of this, kind of the same kind of stuff. And you kind of see some stuff that out of people that you thought, who would be of character, and you kind of see their character start to dwell over time. And I think one of the biggest things was after about a year of me being in Hollywood, that's kind of when I realized I was very grateful to God, and really just my faith in Him, and hearing Him and me being like, hey, I brought you to Hollywood to show you that this isn't for you, unfortunately. Because basically everyone who I was with, and again, it was my dream. It'd be every rapper's or every artist's dream to be around the people who I was. And like I said, I'm not going to name their names, but when you see a lot of stuff and you see a lot of struggle, not only within the person that you're working with, but the teams that you're working for, and even the bigger corporations, that's kind of when you start to realize that, man, this is not what I thought it was. And secondly, for me at least, I'm like I said, a homegrown, blue collar, I come from a family, and I have my own faith. And it showed me exactly what I didn't want my career to look like. And I was only 23 at the time. So luckily, I was wise enough to be able to get myself out of that situation. But all it took was for 1 year in Hollywood for me to realize that I got to get my butt back to the East Coast and back to, the roots of what I know, because what I was seeing out there was a little weird, to say the least, I'll say.
Well, your music's not weird. So what's inspiring your music right now? Tell the audience what your new project is about, what message you want to convey.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for me, everyone always, especially, I feel like the Donald Trump era and pre-COVID era, the toxic masculinity was kind of a big thing. But, I grew up very disciplined, from my father. I didn't live with my father, but I grew up, again, under a very strict hand. And, for me, that kind of, it set my mold. I would go to the gym as, in middle school. I'd go to the gym before middle school, and then I'd go to middle school, and then I'd go to practice. So like my mentality of just, understanding hard work and understanding discipline and effort, that's kind of my motivation. That keeps me going today. And the way that I put that into my music is really just to show people, hey, look, this is how, if you want to do something, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot, and you're going to have to be willing to fight for what you believe in. And there are short routes, again, that you can take, and you may blow up off of TikTok and go to Hollywood and sign a deal, or you're going to have to, stand up for what you believe in, and, really just find your own voice. And finding your own voice, I think, is the most important thing as an artist. I think it takes a lot of time, because your voice and what your sound and your brand kind of develops as you develop as a person. And for me, I'm just trying to be as transparent with my audience as I can, and telling them, hey, at this point in my career, I was partying. I was doing college stuff. I even had a song called Colorado Party when I first started music. But now, it's kind of more about, hey, look, I've been down, and my next single coming out is actually called Can't Imagine. And that's about one of my buddies who overdosed before he even got to college. But in my own circle, growing up right around the city, I had 4 of my friends overdose and die before they even graduated high school. And like I told y'all before, I was in a coma myself. They pronounced me dead. They told my family, to come basically say your goodbyes. But after 24 hours, God woke me up. And so for me and my music, I'm really just trying to let the world know, hey, I know it's a tough world. I know there's a lot of hard things to deal with, but, I want to provide y'all with at least, the background music of the warriors that are, keep fighting, keep going. It's going to get better. And I want to be, one of God's strongest warriors in that sense, of letting him know, like, hey, even with my music career, it's been very difficult, but, I achieved what 99% of artists achieve, to go out and achieve. And again, I give all glory to God, but again, it's really just to inspire, motivate, and again, keep, the men strong and empower the woman around you, empower the people around you, and most importantly, empower the community around you.
So, Letitia, what questions do you have for Big Trip? And I want everybody to follow Big Trip on Twitter. On Twitter, he is real Big Trip. He's not really a Twitter person because he's all about politics, but he's huge on IG and all other platforms. But follow him on Twitter at Real Big Trip.
That'd be amazing. Like I said, we got hundreds of thousands everywhere else, but Twitter, I'll admit, I'm a stalker. I'm one of those people who just watches, you know what I mean? But I just started posting now, so I'm going to be more active, I promise.
Letitia?
Oh, Trivia, you just threw me under the bus.
I sure did.
Well, how you doing, Letitia? How's everything?
Hi. Good. Nice to meet you. Well, I mean, you pretty much said everything. I mean, you got your inspiration from everything that you've been through, and I commend you for going out there and making positive music. There's a lot of young people doing the opposite. It looks like you've grown a lot from, like you were saying, where you came from and everything like that. And I commend you for using your voice and being a positive influence to the younger generation out there. Keep making that positive music. You don't know, who you're going to touch.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And yeah, one of the things too, I tell, I turned down more money than I've ever made in my entire life, just because they wanted me to kind of go down that route of being the sex symbol of, hip hop, of this or that. But again, just me. And again, for any artist or person out there, you really have to understand your values, and it really just comes down to what you love and what you believe in, and ultimately what's your goal. And for me, it wasn't to be right now, I'm younger, but I didn't want to be a 35-year-old, guy who's going to the club and with younger women. I want my family. I want a house. I want some nice grass and on my yard. I don't need nothing special. But yeah, like you said, it's just kind of staying true to who you are, and I'm doing my best. But I appreciate the words.
Yeah, you're doing good. Hey, stay real. Stay, just stay positive. Real is rare these days, and you have something authentic. So hey, just keep it going.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna check out your music, and I'll follow you on Twitter and IG as soon as we're done with this.
So I want to tell people some things that they don't know about Big Trip. Big Trip is one of the hardest working people I have ever met in my entire life. But he's also a seizure patient. And so I've seen him come out of a seizure and get right back on the road, start touring. There's this ambition inside of him that nothing can quash. You might as well just, work with him instead of against him, because there's nothing that you can do to stop him. But before I would even work with Trip, I told Trip he had to run a marathon if he wanted to work together. And when I tell you, at this point, now he's running marathons for charity, raising money for different charities. So that should just be a testament to his work ethic. But his music is fire. So I'm encouraging everybody to hit him on Spotify. He's a verified artist there. You'll find him. He's that New York Italian stallion that you'll see. So please, check out his music as well. Laverne.
And I hate running, by the way, too. I hate running, and she made me do it. I hate it.
But he didn't stop. He didn't quit.
One thing is, for me, nothing in this world is better than knowing God is your personal savior. As the one that is going to look after you, take care of you, make sure your feet don't slip into no traps and trips. And it's sad because a lot of people don't believe in God, and they feel like it's just a story that somebody made up. But once God has touched your life and he brought you back from the dead, where he brought you from, then see what he did, he taught you how to trust him. So once you learn how to trust the Lord as your personal savior and you listen to him, he will always keep you safe, because nothing will come as a surprise to you. Nobody can just come and do anything to you, especially if you are protected. And that's a lot that people really do not understand. For, those that are chosen, God take them through a lot. He doesn't make anything in your life easy for you. As for me, I feel like I've been through hell and back, you
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
But if I hadn't been through hell and back, I couldn't fight the battles that I fight right now, you know.
Absolutely.
But and like I said, when God got something for you to do, trust me, you gonna do it.
Yes,
You gonna
ma'am.
do it whether you want to or not. You don't have no choice in the game. And that's the reason with my ministry why I feed people the way I feed them and the way I help my community. And that's something I have been doing really all my life, but with my nonprofit for over 25 years. And anytime you working with people like that, it's not easy at all. Because when they come, they very angry, they are
Yes.
hostile, and they want to take all of that anger and hostility out on you, you know. So I just
Yep.
have to let them know, hey, I'm not the one. You know
Yeah,
what
I'm
I'm
not the one to
saying?
play with it.
So, I'm saying all of that to say this. When I was a Democrat, I'm gonna say it again. Nobody said nothing. Nobody never called me a name. Nobody had anything to say, right? But after I became a conservative, I always got all of the hate mail and still now in my inbox. They write me and they call me all kind of names. One wrote me recently and called me some kind of big fat ape. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I see stuff like that, I want y'all to know because I know it's gonna be thousands of people watching this show. And I'm gonna tell you how many are here right now. Right now, we got close to 2,000 people watching this show. So I'm gonna just say this: when they send me stuff like that in my inbox, and they feel like it's really gonna hurt my feelings, I'm gonna tell you something. I get the biggest, hardest laugh of the day because I find it to be quite, quite, funny. And I look at that stuff and laugh so hard. But baby, what I sling back their way,
Mm-hmm.
it be
That's
it
why we have a
comes back.
parental advisory on here because
Yeah,
Laverne does
that's how I
something
got that
about that.
parental advisory. I'm from the
Yeah.
Peter tribe, baby. I believe in God, but I'm from that Peter tribe.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am. Yes,
and let me
ma'am.
tell you something. When you throw that to me in my inbox, trust and believe, I'm gonna give you just what you looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Now the crazy part is with my Instagram, right? I don't even post on Instagram. I do not even post on Instagram. I only post on X, right? But in my inbox on Instagram, once again, I get out, who do you think you are to say something like that? You old big fat ugly so and so. And
Yes, ma'am.
I just look at that stuff and laugh. I look at it and I'm telling you, I laugh so hard. But what I give them back, I don't think they're gonna be laughing at it. You
Mm-hmm.
know. But that's the thing, people, people don't understand that when you dealing with God and He has brought you through things, He gonna teach you how to be strong. You're gonna come out as a warrior.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
gonna come out as a warrior, and you're gonna know that your whole life does not belong to you, it belongs to Him. So you can't go and do whatever you want to do because you feel like you big and grown enough to do it, because it's not gonna work out for you like that. You just
Absolutely.
got to follow Him. Because as long as you follow Him, He gonna keep your feet from slipping into those ditches that people try to dig for you. And for those that come and laugh in your face with their satanic agenda, you gonna see straight through them.
Yes,
You'll see
ma'am.
straight through them. So anyway, we're gonna move on with the show, and I want to say hello to Nora. I see you say hello to me and Travian
Hey, Nora.
and Letitia. She got Lisa. I think she meant Letitia. Our guest today is Big Trip, and he's a recording artist. So please follow him, y'all. He just joined X. He just got up here. So y'all please follow him for the latest on his he has a new album out on Spotify, right?
Yeah, Spotify, we just dropped the first single to the new album, which is called Sticks and Stones, and that's out right now. It's doing well. It's very a vulnerable song, kind of like how we've been talking. Instead of my past music, with hip hop and with rap, I was always trying to, and I was a younger, like we talked about it at the time, but I was always talking about with the traditional, at the time with the traditional rap boys. Luckily, for me, I've always had the agenda to try to help people. So no matter what, my message of getting better and overcoming addiction or overcoming problems was always in the mix with some jumping rap at the same time. But now on this new one, the Sticks and Stones one, it's kind of more of me just really being authentic and letting people know, that I have been hurt and I've been broken down. And those are the first lyrics of the song is I've been broken down, but I had to pick myself up off the ground. And even to your point earlier, with God and with my seizures and running the marathon. I didn't really do it for me, and luckily I had my videographer. We recorded the whole thing, but the marathon was about 3 months after I had my seizure, and I had a second shoulder dislocation. All my doctors were looking at me crazy. My whole family was like, "Do not run this marathon. Do not run this marathon." My neurologist was like, "Please, we really recommend that you don't run it." My shoulder really isn't in, like right now. It could be pulled out of place. There's been 2 reconstructive surgeries. I've had them both, and I've denied the full shoulder replacement. But what I wanted to prove to my audience, which is over about 300 or 300,000 now between TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, was just that, look, if you have God on your side, as you were saying, I'm protected. And I said, I don't care if I know I'm not gonna have a seizure while I'm out here. While I'm talking to my mom and she's crying, like, please don't run. You just had a seizure. I said, Mom, it's in God's hands. And I want to show everybody, all my fans, that look, if I can do this and I just had a seizure, I could barely do anything with my shoulder. I'm still gonna run 26.2 miles just to show y'all that I have enough faith in my God that He's gonna put me through this, when even my doctors were telling me not to do it. And luckily, we documented the whole thing, and I still got 3:36, 26.2 mile time. So to your point, when you really have that faith and when you really believe, there's not much that can get in your way. And obviously, my mom, after when I got home, she started smacking me, saying, "Why'd you run the damn marathon?" Blah blah blah. But like I said, I truly felt that, I knew in my deepest of hearts that God had my back, and that's kind of also how I carried throughout my music career. Is that I know He has my back, and I know as long as I'm doing my right things and my rituals in the morning, and I'm moving in the right place, I'm gonna end up in the right place.
Well, I'm sure I know that for a fact because I've run beside you. Like we'd be passing each other during the marathon. So, no, Trip, I'm so happy that you could join us today. Again, follow Big Trip on Twitter, on X. It is Real Big Trip. On Instagram, I am Big Trip. On Facebook, Big
Big
Trip.
trip. Yeah.
So
Big
come on,
Trip.
so
Thank
please
you for putting that back
follow
up.
him. Check out the music. The new project is fire. He's worked so hard on it, and I'm proud of him. And everything that he's come through. So we're gonna be, the next show, we're gonna be playing Big Trip music. Y'all gonna get to listen to Big Trip one way or
Yeah.
another. So
Yeah.
thank you, Big Trip. We're
Much
getting
love
ready
to
to go
y'all.
into the
Can you
topic
put
probably
on
don't want to talk
something
about.
by him on G?
What'd you
What was
say,
that?
Clipper?
Oh, okay.
Actually, did y'all have another video of him?
We had two. So we had the full reel, which I wanted to be
Or
played before
on YouTube, if you type in Sticks and Stones one take Big Trip, it'll come up as well. If you want to do a little outro. If not, if y'all at home, can just go on YouTube,
Oh
type in
no, we're gonna do an outro. It's coming.
Sticks and
Please
Stones Big
roll
Trip,
the Sticks and Stones, please.
and then the one take video from the forest is the one. Yeah,
There we
Hey,
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Trip.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
Thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone in the
That was
audience.
good.
Once again, I am Big Trip on Instagram, Twitter. Y'all see it right there. I promise I'm gonna get more active. I'm gonna get more involved in the community, get my fingers going a little bit. But much love to you three. Thank you guys for the invite, and hope I see you guys soon.
Good one.
Thank
See
you.
you later.
Much
Follow
love.
him on YouTube and follow him on all his social media platforms.
That's
It's
it.
Big Trip, everybody.
Much love, y'all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now
Okay, ladies. Yes,
we about to get into some stuff.
yes,
There's
yes,
some
yes.
stuff going on.
Look at you,
Yeah.
Travion. Leticia, what do you want to ask?
I like that. I
I
like that.
like how
He
you did that.
No, I
said,
mean,
he
Trip
said,
is a
I've been
very
praying
Trip is a
and I've
very
been working and
yeah.
I'm going to get it. That's for
That's for
certain.
certain.
That's
Exactly.
for certain.
That's for certain. Trip is a
That's
hard
for
working person.
certain.
I
I
can tell.
know.
Yes.
And he works harder than me, and I don't sleep. So yeah, I'm
Thank you,
like
Lisa.
literally he's just awesome. He's a real human being, and it's just a pleasure to work with him. And I wanted to make sure that he came on the show and let everybody be introduced to him, because remember, you saw him here, because it's just a matter of time before you see him everywhere.
Yeah. He better
Right.
remember us when he gets big. We want to look front row tickets.
I know. Well, you didn't talk much, so I know he's not gonna forget Laverne, because Laverne gave him the pep talk into the world.
He seems like a pretty smart young guy,
He's
though.
look,
I could tell.
awesome human being. And he's a real man. Like, it's not like,
Right.
there's nothing soft about him. He's a real man. He's gonna have the state. He's gonna run. He's gonna be callous, from working out. Like, he's a real human being, and there's not a bad, piece of blood in his body. So I was very glad that you all were able to be introduced to him today.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
We have like 700,000 followers on Twitter. I mean,
On Instagram,
YouTube.
yeah, and
Yes.
yeah. So he's got definitely has a following, and after this, he just did a label deal like 2 weeks ago, and he's actually moving rapidly. The last 6 months have been very, very actionable. So very excited that he got on today. Now, G, which one of them clips you rolling first? Because there's so much mess going on out here.
Yes,
But
Lord.
good mess. There's
Now
a lot
we
of
get
good
ready to
mess,
get into
too.
our politics, the dirty. We getting
Let's
ready to
do
get
it.
into the dirty. Yeah, bring
Oh,
Look at
shoot.
Shaniqua.
Shaniqua.
I do
Shaniqua.
not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
And
that
I know
too.
West Side.
I got it.
And you know that. Let me
Actually,
just
hold
tell
on.
you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you
Look,
want
I'm a New Yorker, not in
I
this
will
city.
run
You
in
cannot
the
say
facts.
that. You
I
can't
will
say
run.
that in this city. But I have a.
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about actually
let her finish.
right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together at this table,
Fine by
right?
me.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because
in the White House?
even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think he worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
Scott.
Look.
Just dumb. With all her degrees, she was not listening to herself, because she was just defending DEI, and then turned around and said,
"So intelligent am I? I have so many degrees,
more than all you guys put together."
And to make it short, as Laverne Spicer version, oh yes, I am the smartest bitch.
Right, dumb. But nonetheless, it was like she was the one who turned around and said, because the gentleman said, "Look, even in the White House, you were the lowest paid person on the payroll." She was like, "Even in the White House," and he was like, "Well, whose fault is that? Because you worked under the Biden administration." And then she said, "Well, you know what happened when I was there? DEI." But you were just defending DEI. So if DEI took you out of a higher pay scale, then what are you talking about? All your degrees don't add up to anything. And Laverne, I think you made a point on that earlier about her. Her saying, you said that.
Yeah, I said because I mean, I've been self-employed most all my life, but one thing I know, if you going on a job, you're gonna have to sign some type of papers that say you agree to what your compensation is, and
Right.
she had to agree to what her compensation is.
And now she wants to complain about it. Don't complain about it. Your attitude, what you just displayed on that show in that segment, is the reason why you're the lowest paid person on the payroll. It's you.
That's it.
It's not you're black. It's not your degrees. It's none of it. It is you. And you just showed the world that you deserve to be at the bottom of the totem pole. And I'm glad that you showed your butt, because degrees, as you just showed, mean absolutely nothing. You got all those degrees, as you explained, you counted down and calculated, but you are not smart enough to realize you are your own worst enemy. So I am so happy that she put herself out there like that, because now who's gonna hire her? She really gonna be at the bottom.
I mean, she went on national TV to tell everybody actually how damn dumb she was.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and she did a whole campaign on, yes, I'm the dumbest one.
Right?
You know?
and they all just looked at her. And then, when she's running down on her degrees, there's another black woman at the table. She starts doing, the Cabbage Patch, because she's running down how many degrees she had. By the end of that conversation, that other black woman was motionless, because she saw the stupidity as well. And everybody clapped at her for showing how dumb she was. Like, that is embarrassing. That's the end of your career. Like, you're going to have to go start something self-employed, because who's going to hire? I wouldn't hire you. I wouldn't hire you. I would never hire you.
With that little stinking attitude that she has, that's not going to get her anywhere in life, because your attitude can make you or break you. Especially when you're going for a job interview and you're applying for these positions and stuff, and you go in there with that type of attitude. And then she said that on TV. When she went for those interviews, she was in there just straight bragging.
It was sad.
Straight bragging.
What was she bragging about?
All of her degrees that she has.
And
more than all of them added up. She said more than all you guys put together.
More than all of you guys put together.
Now, how does she know what those people had on that show?
With all of those degrees and you got so much sense, why you don't go start your own business? Yeah. Why are you going to other people looking for them to employ you? Go do your own thing.
That's for me. I'm like, I worked a job when I was 18. I worked a job when I was 18. I started my own business at 24. So I've worked with people, which I prefer, because if I'm working with people, I just can't see working for people. That's just never been, I don't have that type of respect for authority to be told what to do by somebody who's not as talented or as free thinking or creative. So I've made it a mission in my life to remain my own boss. But when I was young and I was working at a travel agency, and the people who were telling me what to do weren't as smart as me. And I was young. And that's when I realized, or they were lazy, they weren't working as hard. That's when I realized, I said, I never want to do that. And so my goal has always been creating jobs and never working a job. And I'm blessed that God has, always given me the epitaph to recreate myself. So when one, genre of, business ends, I'm able to recreate myself and go into a different genre. So, but yeah, she should start her own business, but I don't think that would survive either, because who's gonna be her clients? Like,
nobody.
That'll come out.
Not when they see that clip,
right?
They're gonna be like, she's gonna be a crazy boss.
And as I would say, it would be just like a Keith Sweat song. Nobody, baby.
Nobody, baby.
Nobody, baby.
Nobody.
Nobody.
It's
just
so
like a Keith Sweat song.
Yeah, she should really, she should actually do a show, come back on and apologize, because you cannot let the world, let that sink into the world for eternity. That type of stupidity. Yeah, I would ask to come back on the show, and I would ask to apologize, because I don't see her having a career in media when you're, clacking on yourself, and then you get to where you're trying to make the point and you just fumble.
Shit on everybody else.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a fumble at the half-yard line. You know what I'm saying? Like, You don't do that. She pulled a Fannie Willis, a big pump. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, if you look at it, you've got these mouthy Black women out here that think that they are powerful, when really, men should have power. I don't think women should have power. I think men should lead the way and men should have power. And so these women out here running their mouths as if they have power because the Bidens have made them feel like, oh yeah, Black women put Kamala and Joe Biden in office. No, we all know that election was stolen. So you have this false sense of authority and you're putting it out. You're sending this negative out to people. And guess what happens when you do that? We take that garbage can and we dump it right back on you. So it's sad. I think Black women need a reset because they've been fooled and they're hurting themselves. And so I really think we need a reset.
I think for Black women, right? I think the bottom line is that, as the Bible says, in all your seeking, seek knowledge. You got to seek knowledge, man.
That part.
And sometimes we as women, Black women, they don't seek knowledge. They listen to their friends. I'm talking about that younger crowd. They're around people that don't know and don't understand. And all of them it's like the blind following the blind.
Yep.
So then when they keep running into the same situations over and over again, they become so angry and hostile. And I think a lot of that leads to the outbursts that we are seeing take place inside of these stores and grocery stores and everything else. It's just a lot of anger and a lot of hostility. But you can't blame anybody but yourself. You have to want better for you.
Right? I know she's drinking heavy. She throwing them back right now. She knows she just ended her career. Wow. In real time. Like that's a rarity. That's a rarity.
She's still young. Hopefully she, like you said, go back, apologize. It's not the end of the world. You still got tomorrow, but change your mindset. Change your attitude, change your mindset.
Don't go in there with an attitude of arrogance. Oh, I have this degree. I have that. That's don't nobody give a fuck. First of all,
we don't care.
We don't care. What can you do? People want to know, if you coming into their company, what is it that you can do to enhance their company? What can you do to help build the business? So if you got 99 degrees, but you got a shitty ass attitude, it's just certain things don't match,
Facts. Yep.
Ooh, that was harsh. It's just like, man down.
Right. Laverne not playing today.
Man down. Wow.
But it's the truth, though.
Laverne's not playing today. No, it is. Yeah, it's a truth.
Tell y'all something, right?
Uh-oh, the glass is coming off. Hold on, Trivia.
Oh, yes. What? This one of these type of times. Let me tell you something. Years ago here in Miami, right? And I think I had been like Curly House maybe 4 years in business. So South Florida Workforce, which is an organization, right? And at the time they was helping like a lot of low income individuals like get their life together. And what they did, they put together a program where organizations could take so many of these people in, right? And work with them, and they was paying the women to go out to these jobs. So they might have sent like 50 to the Humane Society. I think I asked for like 25. So once all of these young women, when they started working here, before I do anything, I'm gonna have a brief training with everybody to explain to them what to expect and everything, right? So like after the first day, the next day when everybody was here, they was working. These girls was hiding behind the doors, hiding in the bathroom, sitting around gossiping. But for me, I could not understand that because I didn't grow up like that. I grew up in Carolina. Okay. So, and and I grew up in a community. I didn't grow up in the projects. Okay. So I can like relate to that type of mentality. So I had to really talk to them. So they was even at the Humane Society, where the only thing they had to do was like to bathe the dogs, feed the animals, or whatever. They was over there fighting. They was at the Humane Society having ghetto ass fights in there. Okay, so after that, yeah, nobody would take them no more. Everybody was like,
Wow.
"No, you don't want no more. Your
That's
volunteers."
crazy.
That is it,
That's
because they would sit there and gossip all day long. You
Damn,
know,
about what?
and
Shit, what the?
but let me explain to you, right? So I really didn't understand, right, until recently, and I have the clip. I have a clip with Michael X, but you know, it's a speech. I think it was Betty Shabazz that did that speech when they talked about the projects. They talked about the projects. So the projects was a project, right?
Yep.
And they had to keep the man out of the home in order to maintain that roof over their head and the check. So, you know, what happened is that you had generation after generation after generation in the projects, everybody in the projects, you know, everybody right there. So, you know, it's like, you know, what could they do to change that mindset? That it's okay just to stay home, watch the soap operas all day, and gossip. And gossip. Watch the soap. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Watch the soap operas all day and gossip all day long. So, but this is our community. But, you know, this is my thing. When you see agencies like the NAACP and all of them that are raising money now, you know, they're out because everything dealing with the conservatives is real racist. But where have they been at in our community?
Preach it.
What have they done for the Black community?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. And I
That
will
you
read.
see them once a year, and that's if something happens big on the news where they can
Now
get a
you
class
see, you're
action.
gonna see
That's
them
the
more.
only
You're
time.
gonna see them more now because Trump got elected, and
Well,
everybody that's a conservative is a racist.
I
You
do
know,
have
in
to
case
say,
you don't know, that includes you. You're a white supremacist too. Just in case.
I do
I
have to say this.
identify as a
Say this.
triracial supremacist.
I do have to
Don't
say
label
this
me
about
like
the
that.
NAACP though. As a kid, I participated in an NAACP group or program called ACTO, which is Afro Cultural and Technological Scientific Olympics. And I won in the category of oratory when I was 14 years old. And I got to go from Omaha to compete in the national competition in New York. And ACTO paid for all of this. We got to meet people, or I guess, upstanding Black youth from all over the country that were talented in dance and science and speaking and art. So as much as the NAACP is not doing anything for the community at large, I mean, adult Black Americans, they do have a program for children called AXO, which is still in play. Some of the most talented young Black people in urban neighborhoods participate in this program. And I was one of those kids, and it did wonders for me. It took me to New York for my first time. Me and one of the other kids that was competing in dance, Monica McSwain. We snuck out, in the middle of the night in New York and just were running around the street. So AXO, the NAACP was responsible for that. So I do want to thank them for that.
So yay, they helped. They have one group that helps children. So where's the
Right.
rest of the billions and billions and billions they've been getting since 1933? I want to say that's their only program, and that's
That's the only program I know of. And that's why I said it's for the youth. As far as adult Black America, they are not doing anything for that I can see outside of, you know, they didn't even come to the fake protest that Al Sharpton was trying to have on January 20th, on the day of Trump's inauguration. And it was freezing cold outside, so that got called off. You know, Black people are not going to stand out in the freezing cold
Nope.
for a bobblehead Al
Nope.
Sharpton. So,
We'll watch you on TV, but we're not coming out when Jack Frost is out there unless we have to.
right? Yes, we got a clip about
she's
Jasmine
next.
Crockett. We got one about
Uh-oh, another one?
Next.
We got G. Don't you have a Jasmine Crockett clip? I'm so glad I can see the comments today.
G. Hello, G. We looking for a clip.
G's on a little 5-minute break. He's on the break. He's like, girls, I'm turning my sandwich.
Oh, Jasmine, run your mouth, Crockett.
Right.
Oh,
You know,
Lord.
And somebody was in my inbox calling their self gonna cuss me out about her.
like
Boy,
we actually,
Look, bring them up so they can cuss you
my
out. Bring them up. Bring them up to the up here so they can cuss you out. They want to cuss you out. Bring them up.
in my inbox, because in my inbox they gonna get a nice knick-knack paddywhack, give a dog a bone. They gonna get a nice one. Oh, there she is.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna try my best not to preach. I just want to say thank you, because every day that we show up in DC, we show up for you. We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they trying to pull right now. This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing. But let me tell y'all something. I know some of y'all have been frustrated, and you've been saying, where are the Democrats? Where are our leaders? Well, I'm here to tell you that we ain't never left y'all, all right? We are here. We are also going to make sure that they uphold the law. We are not going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. This ain't it. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You're going to learn a few lessons from us. And I'm going to be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter, y'all about to find out, all right?
I had to mute myself because I was like, what the fuck? And look here, Trump, you're about to find out. Oh,
you and your little friend on Twitter.
Oh, God, they're so scared.
I don't even.
Watch out, Trump. Watch out. Jasmine said you about to find out. Watch out, Trump.
Nobody is afraid of Jasmine Crockett. Not even the white woman in the hearing when she was talking that told her to come and meet her outside. When a white woman tells you to come meet me outside, that means
Nancy Mace, Miss Mace told her that.
Right?
She shut the F up real quick and didn't go outside.
Nobody's afraid of you when a white woman is going to say to you, come meet me outside.
And did she take her black ass out there? Yeah. She did not go outside, did she?
She didn't. That wig would come off. Those fake lashes would come off. Her fake Chanel would come off. It would be embarrassing for her because people would get to see her bald head self.
And that's why she didn't go outside.
She
would have fucked around and Nancy would have made her ass find out.
Listen, Nora said, why is she paying her husband $500,000 for security and shell companies in Hong Kong? And I think that's curvy sound like a gangster to me.
Hong Kong and Kiev, so that's like in Russia. Yeah, I mean, she's gonna be found out. She's running her mouth, and we've got systems now that can check on you and how much you're spending and where is it going and why is it going and how did you get it and who approved it. That's what's happening right now. So I am flabbergasted. I am over the moon that we are able to find out that 32,000 went to a LGBT concert in Peru and 2 billion to LGBT to go watch a Sesame Street concert and to see how fast the lobster can run. This
What
this
the
was their whole. This was how they transacted their money laundering.
Yeah.
So now all of this is stopped, and we saw that California raisin. What is her name? In California, you guys is Senator.
Oh yeah,
Maxine
Maxine.
Maxine Waters. I mean, she looks
Oh
like a
God.
California raisin to me. If y'all look back, if you remember them raisins dancing, that is her. She is mad that her money has dissipated. Everybody's about to be found out. It's a
Oh, yeah.
glorious day to be alive in America with Trump
Yep.
as president.
And she
because-
was
Go ahead.
was standing there behind Jasmine Crockett looking like Mother Jefferson's.
I'm telling you, I called her a sunset raisin.
Looking just like Mother Jefferson.
We
They need
gonna
to get her
we
out.
Gonna audit her, and we're gonna audit her husband.
Mm.
You know, she's out there talking black and DEI. Black people don't really know she's married to a white man. Like, I don't know what this white man looks like. He might be fat as I don't know what.
G, pull it up. G, Google
Yeah,
it.
G,
Pull it up.
pull
Pull
up
it up.
Jasmine Crockett's husband that is getting all this money to be her security. I'm actually gonna do a parody on her.
Wait, I thought you were. Oh no, she's
Kelly
got a
was
young
saying
husband. I thought you were talking
something
about what's her name.
Did y'all hear about the million for pillow fluffing?
Exactly.
Pillow fluffing. What the? They got
I'm
so many
telling
homeless
you.
people in California. They're over here doing this, that, and the pillow fluffing. What the? Like
I'm telling you.
actual? What? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And the great news of today is that Trump has banned the transgenders from women's sports.
Yes, amen.
Yep.
Thank you
Hallelujah.
very much.
Hallelujah.
Very much.
Do you know that they sent 1.5 billion for the expansion of atheism in Nepal, India? This is where
What in
our
the-
money has been going to these unheard of entities and organizations. And now everybody should be held responsible. It's not enough
Yep.
to just expose it. Don't
Yeah.
expose it if you're not going to pursue it.
Yep.
You know, and that's what I'm asking for the Trump administration. Don't expose where our money has been stolen and not expose how it happened, who did it, and then
And what you're gonna? Yep. And what you're gonna do about
And
it?
what you're
Yep.
gonna
Come
do
on,
about it. We
Elon.
need all
Come
of
on,
that.
Cash.
We on
Yes,
Come on,
Lord.
Pam.
it's
Come
great.
on,
It's great.
Elon.
It's great. Like I
Gotta
said,
go to
I'm
work and do
with
some
Trump
house cleaning.
on everything but Israel. So what he's doing for America, I feel like it's been a long time coming. I do have a clip. I'm gonna send it to you, G. I don't know if you guys were able to watch the Breakfast Club yesterday. There was a comedian on by the name of TK Kirkland. I'm gonna pull that up and I'm gonna send it to G. But we're gonna talk about his concept of what's happening to Donald Trump right now. And when I heard it, it made a lot of sense, but it's one of those things you don't want to happen. So I'm going to get this to G and see if he can get that pulled up, because it's just, it's really something. I'm sending that to G now.
Whatever these clowns think that they're gonna, do and plot, not gonna happen. This is not the administration he had before. You got Alina Habba in there. You got Pam. You got Caroline.
why-
You got that. No,
That's
this
why a
isn't.
lot of
Cash
people
Patel.
quitting. They're
Yeah,
quitting.
this is
They're submitting their resignation because
Tom
they know.
Homan. Yeah.
Yeah,
They know.
this is not the.
House.
Oh yeah,
He is
yeah. You got
cleaning
Kristi Noem in there. That you got too many people that care about America. This isn't the elites and the clowns that were against him last time, smiling in his face. This is a whole new administration. You ain't gonna see shit like you saw last time. They're all working together to,
Not so
like you
moved
said,
like this didn't live a
expose where
long
the
time.
money went.
Okay, so this is the clip.
Yes, go ahead.
So listen to this.
Last person I saw move like this didn't live a long time, because they was moving at such rapid pace. They didn't know they was going to leave here, but the universe did, and that was Tupac. Tupac moved at a rate, a rapid speed.
Both Geminis, by the way. Pac and Trump. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he's moving at a speed that tells me something's going to bad happen. This is my personal take on the universe. When I seen people move this way, this man has done something that takes 4 years in 2 weeks. And he's just constantly going after everybody. The energy doesn't make sense, because you're trying to make sense of all this, right? To the average person, you're like, what is he doing? But from what I've seen, there's something bad about to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't wish no bad luck.
Yeah.
I just seen that energy before, and we'll see.
The only difference is
Now,
Let's say this. I'm rebuking that right now in the
that's
name
what
of
I
Jesus. Y'all
need
know
you to
me.
say.
I'll rebuke something real quick. I will rebuke
Exactly.
that in the name
Exactly.
of Jesus. We are rebuking that right now. Let me tell y'all something. It's a lot of power in the name of Jesus.
Yes.
It's a lot of power. One time, we was out and we was doing a distribution, right? And I'm gonna share this story with you all. We was doing a food distribution. So we went to this building and this girl came over. She started talking to me, right? And she was asking me a whole lot of questions. But she was angry. The spirit told me, and I'm a very spiritual person, that she was angry because we had gave her so much food for her mom. Because if I go out to them senior buildings, I'm gonna make sure they get a lot of food. I mean, a lot of food, personal care items, everything. We gonna take care of them. We gonna give them enough to last for a month, right? So she was pissed about it. So she left me and she went and talked to somebody else that was working with me. She stayed there talking to him for about an hour, right? She couldn't get the answer she wanted. So then she went outside to another one of my volunteers and she talked to him for about 40 minutes, right? And he told her, he said, you know what? I know what you're looking for, but I'm not going to give it to you. But you go inside, you see that lady right there with that red shirt on. She going to give you just what you looking for. I promise you that, right? So she came right back to me again, right? So when she came back to me this time, I started loud talking her. And me and her, we went on for about a good 30 minutes, right? And I spoke about a good 30 minutes because I was telling her about her mom, and she had been a thorn in her mother's life. She had been a burden in her mother's life. But her mother always protected her. But the day her mother closed her eyes, that's going to be the day she going to get all of that back. She going to get it all back. She going to reap what she sowed, right? I looked this girl in her eyes. Now, she harassed everybody for about 3 hours, right? I looked this girl in her eyes, and I said, get behind me, Satan. Get behind me, Satan. When I said them words, that girl vanished out of that air. I'm telling you, that girl vanished. She couldn't hold another argument. She couldn't say another word. She cleared it.
Wow.
So the point of the matter is this. See, the word of God tell you, we are not arguing against people, but we are arguing against those spirits that are operating in them, right? So when you dealing with somebody, you got to know what you're dealing with.
Facts.
Because a lot of times, they know, them demons know. So when you say, get behind me, you demon, get behind me, Satan, that's in the word. You speaking the word. He ain't have no choice but to flee. That devil left. That devil left. That girl left out the building so fast, I didn't even realize she was gone.
Laverne said that devil left.
That devil left, girl. You talking about run, devil, run? That devil cleared that building so fast.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even talk to the devil that long. I'm gonna leave. I ain't even gonna engage with the devil that long.
Well, that was the devil, okay?
Yeah.
But that's what we are dealing with out here because, all this foolishness that they have going on is nothing but the devil at work. That's all it is. So that's why we as believers, that's why we got to rebuke all of that evil stuff. We got to rebuke it. We got to rebuke it, and we got to pray for Trump because he is fighting for us. He's fighting for us. He's fighting for the Christians. Y'all know they want to take us out because they got a whole Muslim agenda, and and Marxists, and they don't want nothing dealing with Christianity in the picture. And we know this. How do we know this? Because it started when they took prayer out of school. They took it out, but it's okay for them to bring the sexual books into the classroom and try to teach little kids about sex. It's okay for them to bring the transgender
spend millions of dollars on a transgender mice experiment.
Yeah.
How are you going to be
Yep.
experimenting on transgender mice?
Yep.
This
Right.
is what is happening. Now that's devilish. Like if you,
All
but
right,
I don't
that's
even
what
think
I'm
the money
talking
went
about.
there. The money went
That's
to
what I'm
somebody's
talking
pocket.
about.
Whose
You know
pocket
what?
did the money go into? Because how you gonna find a transgender mice?
Right.
Mouse.
You know what, Laverne? That you just sparked something I seen last night on Instagram about when you were talking about the devil and stuff. So Governor Gavin Newsom has put an app in California. I think it's called SOLANN. I can look at it right now. It tells teenagers to remove themselves from being Christian, and it teaches them about satanic rituals and stuff. Let me look. One of the Republicans sent it to me last night. Let me just put my camera off. It's called and let me see. It's
Right, because
called,
cursive does not exist in
okay.
curriculums anymore.
Let me
That's right.
see.
Teach your kid cursive.
Okay, the app is called. Let me see. SOL. Let me click on it. How to go off my. Okay, the app advises teens to drop Christianity and embrace. I'm on, what website is this? Harbingers Daily. What is the name of that app? Let me see. Okay, SOLUNA. And it says if you look on Wikipedia, it shows you like the satanic, I guess what that stands for. It's 2 words. But I'm like, what else? What else are we going to keep standing for here in California? This guy is just turning this state into a satanic ritual state. How do you make an
Hell,
app?
what he's
He made
turning
an
into.
app.
It already was burning with fire hot as hell. So he's
Yeah.
turning it into hell. That's what
Yeah.
he's doing. That's what
That
he's doing.
and that app teaches the children all kinds of things on cults, how to join, how to, do all kinds of sexual stuff to please the devil. Yeah.
God.
What?
Yeah. Google it. I can
I
send
did.
you.
What you
Yeah.
say, Google? What it is, Letitia?
Soluna. It's SOLUNA.
Yep.
But
We need some real help here in California. Trump
Soluna
administration's got it.
spending. Okay. Well, I don't know. It doesn't come up on a website.
It's an app. It's an app that they're talking to the kids about in elementary, in middle school, and in high school. I don't know, like.
Oh, it's a California mental health app.
And
So
it's not.
real help,
Yeah.
real talk, zero cost. So they're doing all this damage for free.
Yeah. Yeah. It teaches you if you want to change your gender, how you can please Satan. Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and they give you
These people are evil.
They are. They
They
really,
are
really are. People always thought I was
Somebody
playing
said
when
they
I
just
said,
downloaded it. Let me take a look. Somebody said they just
okay.
downloaded it.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a look.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is
You know,
literally
they
hell.
even went so far here, and maybe this happened a few years ago, and I just happened to stumble upon it on YouTube. But they was having a hearing down in Florida City, and I saw that they said, okay, before we start, we're gonna give a word of thanks to Satan. And I guess the ones that was Christians was fleeing the room.
What?
And they just, yes, I wish G could kill it was on YouTube. I don't know how I just stumbled across that, but let me tell y'all something. If I was down there when they did that, they would have been praying to Satan, and I would have been praying to God, rebuking all of them demons up there. Each and every one of they little wicked asses, I would have rebuked.
Wow. That's wow. Yeah, you you got to protect your spirit, because
Yes,
it's a spiritual war more than it
very
is
much so.
anything else. So
Yeah.
Very much so.
I don't watch horror movies. It does not sit with my spirit. I can't watch it. So yeah, it's really about protecting your kid's spirit. Like Laverne said, they've got books about sex and masturbation and everything else in library.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
sad
they want your
that
child to learn all of that.
that should be Trump's next executive order, to clean up these libraries and these
Yes,
curriculums
Lord.
of these
Clean them up, Trump.
sexual.
Clean them up. Clean up them
That needs
library
to be
books.
next. That needs to
There,
be.
that's what I was telling you guys about. One of the
Oh,
Republicans that I was
Lord
passing
Jesus,
out
that man
flyers for,
wicked.
he texted me that this morning. He goes, "Did you see this?" But I had already seen it I think 2 days before they had it on Instagram. Trump administration, you guys are moving and moving and moving. We really need help here in California. This is
And you know the sad
California.
part? Listen,
California.
the California. You're right. That's what it is. It's California. And you know what the sad part is? That a lot of remember, these kids are very smart nowadays, so they know how to hide stuff.
Yeah.
When we was
Right.
growing up, we
Yeah.
thought we could hide something. We couldn't
Yeah.
hide nothing.
No.
These kids are so smart
Yeah.
and so intelligent. You got to damn near be, what you call
Watching
it,
them
a
24/7.
tech pro,
Yep.
to even keep up with them to
Yep.
find out what apps are they on. Who would even know this type of stuff? I mean, you see, So Luna, what would you think that was about? You
And
would think it was a study of the occult.
Sun.
yeah.
No, Sola. So it's
Yeah, you
sun.
think it's
So
done.
it
Yeah,
would
Yeah.
have.
Solar.
It
You
would.
think
Yeah.
it's maybe some scientific project or something.
Nope.
You know,
But it
you
was
not
Sol and
thinking
it was
you
Sun
not
and Moon, because
It
Sol
right,
yeah.
is Sun and Luna
hmm
is Moon. So it's
right, but you not
yeah.
thinking, oh, this is an occult app. You
Exactly.
know,
That's
Exactly.
why people need to get their kids out of public schools, because even though Trump had made these orders about stopping the indoctrination and the LGBTQ ABCDEFG, there's still
LMNO.
states there's still states like this that they don't give a fuck what his administration said and what he signed into an executive order. They need to put a task force like they did with ICE. They need to put a special force out into these blue states like this one, Chicago, New York, and New Jersey, and have people pop up at the schools and see what the hell these teachers are teaching these kids.
Tarot
That's
series,
And
like sex
remember,
series. Yeah. I
y'all,
think G's highlighting it. But yeah, it's like they
listen,
have high
if
yes,
you have your kids in public school, and I mean, I know a lot of people work and go to school, but Trump has now passed a law that he's going to make sure that the parents get that money that the school's supposed to get, and it goes to the parent for homeschooling. I mean, imagine if they're doing this to, kids that can read, write, and spell. God only knows what they're doing with the other ones who are autistic or, maybe got a developmental delay, and they don't know what the hell they're looking at on this app. And they're over here playing with, black magic and learning how to masturbate and learning how to touch other kids. And this shit is crazy. This is
yes.
really, really crazy.
And you know what the sad part is, y'all? Just think, we are informed, right? And we know what is going on, but just think about how many people don't even have a clue as to let none of this even freaking exists. Okay?
They need to wake up, get with the program. Because they're watching too much TV and they don't think, they always see conservatives and Republicans and MAGA parents are lying. It's like, dudes, pop up at the library. Look at the government website. When somebody tells you that the governor is pushing an agenda, go to the website and see if it's there in your state. You will find it there in your state. That's a lot of the problems, is people want to listen to your friends. Like you said earlier, Laverne,
They don't
people
know
don't
shit.
listen. They don't go on the website. They just worried about, am I still going to be able to get on Section 8 because Trump said he's stopping. Am I still going to get my food stamps? Am I still going to be in the welfare not to work program? Man, Trump needs to make a Rihanna song, work, 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 work. His new fucking thing for the Democrats. No more free handouts, motherfuckers. Y'all got to work. No more free, no more free. My back
Right.
hurt, my baby toe hurt. I need the taxpayer money because I fell 25 years ago and my leg is hurt and I can't work and I can't go to school and all I can do is sit down and be depressed. That's why they're fucking depressed. Because
Right.
they're taking from the people who are working and made it out the hood, right? And they have every excuse why they still need to be in the hood. Just like you were saying, Laverne. They're in the
Well,
projects and then the grandma.
Trump is actually going to do an executive order to stop anti-Christian bias, because we saw what he did with anti-Semitism, but he is also vowed to do an executive order on anti-Christian. So we'll see how that
confront such demonization and religious persecution. Today, I'm signing an executive order to make our Attorney General, who's a great person, she's going to be a great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the head of a task force, brand new, to eradicate anti-Christian bias. About time, right? Anti-Christian bias.
definitely should have came before anti-Semitism.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
But at least we're getting it. So
True. That's a step forward. It really is.
At least we're getting it. So yeah, it's called physical intimacy. I think Waffle House Coffee just found a clause in that Soluna that actually was defining the sex that you do to please the devil part. Yeah.
See, California is so, I mean, really, I wish Trump that we got a line for ICE. We really need a line in these blue states where we could pick up the phone and say, hey, this bill just passed. Nobody is following your executive order as far as A, B, C, and D. We need to be able to call and say, this school in LA, this school in Long Beach, this teacher over here, this place over there is still teaching the agenda. Because it's going to take more than Trump and his administration to get us where we need to be. This is a satanic warfare. These people are satanic. Who in the hell makes an app to teach children how to masturbate to the devil?
California.
Well, but sadly,
California.
yes. Ooh, I can't wait till all my kids is 18, taking my ass right back to a red state. This is effing ridiculous. This is really, really ridiculous. Satanic over here.
You can always come to Florida, dear.
Look, get me a good lawyer. My ass will be on the next flight tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really bad here. You guys gotta pray.
About when you talking about devil worshiping and that type of stuff, remember that always come with a sacrifice.
Yeah.
That always comes with doing some evil stuff.
Yep.
You know, really evil, really dark, really demented and demonic. You know, so before you go there, people, always think twice, because some things are easy to get into and hard to get out.
But their kids, they don't understand that. Their counselors are telling them.
That's why they have parents. And that's why, they'll watch. And the sad part is a lot of their mentors that are into the rap game and in the music business, they'll go in that same route.
True. Yep. Yep. Well, completely true.
It's survival of the fittest. So we just have to understand that this is a world that we live in. It's better to be ready and prepared than not be ready. So just do whatever you need to do to protect you and your household, contribute where you can. I think that makes a better society, because we can't fight all of the evil that's in the world. The only thing that we can do is really try to prepare and be ready to combat if it ever, faces you individually. So
Laverne, one thing I believe in, I always say, God always have a ram in the bush. So things that we may not be able to even, like think about how we gonna get through this, or how we, even if you think back over your own life, we all go through situations in our life where we look and say, damn, what I'm gonna do now? How am I gonna get through this? How am I gonna manage? And some kind of way, your help always comes out of a blue. Sometimes your help comes from someone that you would have never thought about would have came to your rescue. you know, and
That's why you have to put it in your subconscious. So when you say that, how am I going to fix this? You put this in your subconscious. Eventually it comes to your conscious. That's
right,
God in you,
Yeah.
helping you to resolve what your issue is. So
and
I've always counted on that.
and also put it out there in the atmosphere. Just put it in the atmosphere,
That's it.
because one thing I know, God is a way maker. He gonna make a way out of no way. And I can say that because he has brought me through so many battles, especially with my organization and my program. You know, we buy food to give to people because we don't want to get them all that old, outdated, expired stuff. So we buy food. And it has been times here where we really didn't have the funds available to even pay the rent or pay the light bill. You know, we did not have it because when I first started this, I started it out of my pocket. So for about 3 or 4 years, I basically did everything on my own, you know, but then I had to get to know the powers that be so we could start getting funding, right? But
well, y'all hit
recently,
that Cash App. Do y'all see Laverne Spicer? That Cash App right there on the screen. Hit that Cash App. So
Right.
but let me tell. But I want to say this though. You know, we ran into a situation where our funds was really getting low, right? The funds was really like getting low for the rent, the light, and everything. And a friend of mine, she came to visit me, right? And she said, Laverne, she said, I remember years ago when I started my business, I didn't have no food, I didn't have clothing, I didn't have anything. And you told me, you said, girl, go in the back and get what you need, which is what I say. I said, girl, go in the back, get what you need. I don't care. You know, with people that come and I know they are people in the community and they helping people, of course I'm going to give it to them. You know, y'all just take what you need. You got your ministry. You need some help. Come get it. Come get it. We're going to help you with, because we all work together and help each other, right? So when she came to see me and we was talking and I was telling her about what I was going through here, trying to, you know, make sure that our doors stay open, this girl told me, she said, Vern, don't worry about it. I got you. And she wrote us a check for $20,000.
Wow.
Wait a minute. She didn't stop there. When we went to the bank, right? Because it was a new account, they put a hole on that check.
Mm-hmm.
She had her daughter to go ahead on and send us another 20,000 straight through the bank.
Wow.
So when she got through, this girl gave us over $55,000.
Wow, what a blessing.
So that's why I said, and she's black. This is a black woman, okay? But she just said, Vern, you helped me so much when I didn't even know how I was going to make it. You helped me, and now I'm going to help you. You know? So the point is, when you're a giver and you reach out and you help people, you don't never know where your blessings are going to come from.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You know? And when I give from my heart. I don't give looking for anything in return. And I am a giver. I mean, I give away everybody's stuff. Leave your stuff laying around in my warehouse. Leave it. Leave it laying around in here. I promise you that when I go outside and see an old lady that, ma'am, do you have a jacket? Yeah, baby, I got one for you. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, your jacket gonna be gone, and some old lady gonna be outside really happy about it. Because I just give away. I give it away. The more I give away, the more comes back. The more comes back.
Exactly. Waffle House Coffee said that one red flag in that Solana project might be the module that talks about EIP, which is emotionally immature parents. They can kiss my ass, okay? you don't get to make excuses like you're emotionally immature.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that? Like, what does that mean?
Sounds like some of the Democrats or the liberals made up.
Right. I'm like, What does that even
I ain't never heard that shit in my damn
They
life.
make up anything to justify all of these different lewd acts on children.
Yeah,
On
yes.
children.
Yes.
It's a war on our
Yep.
youth. Okay, it's a war on
Yep.
our youth. Okay,
Homeschool.
and Satan is coming for them.
Yeah.
And you know, you hear people say, "Oh, I don't believe in God. That's make believe." But you don't hear people say, "Oh, I don't believe in Satan." You
Yep.
never hear anybody say that.
Let a tiger come running up. They'll be like, Jesus Christ.
That's all. Yeah, and
That's
that's
right.
all people. That's a known
And when they
fact.
run into that tree, when they run
Right?
into that tree with their car and they crash in
Yep.
their life,
Yep.
it's on the line. First thing they say, "Oh, help me, God.
Help me,
Please,
God.
Lord, save
Yep.
me.
Yep. The first
Please,
thing.
God, save me."
The
Yep.
first thing. Yeah.
The
I'm
first
just,
thing come out their mouth.
you know, I'm just praying that this is an administration that isn't going to look the other way. Because if you allow a governor to do this to our children, the American children, while you're sitting there deporting all these other pedophiles, no, I mean, we need some help over here in these blue states. This man has legalized pedophilia. I will say it on every show. I will say it on my show. I will say it all
You
the
know,
time. Don't
we
be the
know he
administration.
legalized. We know he legalized it when he passed a law that you have the right to molest a child as long as you're
Yeah.
20 years older than that child. Isn't that what it says?
And not only that, you only get so many years if the kid is 14. Yeah, over 14. I don't even think they put you on the sex registry anymore. And like I was telling you guys last time when G pulled up that other clip with that guy who drove him and his wife over the cliff with the Tesla. They do the same thing for pedophiles here. You get this bracelet on your ankle. They put you in a hotel. You don't go to prison anymore. You sit there for 2 years. You come out and you're not on the registry. You can work in the special ed department. You can work at the YMCA. It's some kind of program. I don't know if it's called the quiet offender or I don't know what it is, but California is honestly satanic. And I'm just praying that this administration does not look the other way. This governor has changed. Like I said, Google it. Over here, they call pedophiles minor attractive person. So we can't have this administration getting rid of all the other
Say
problems
that
with the
again.
illegals. Minor attractive person, MAP, and that's what
Oh, wow.
he did that a long time ago. So I really do hope that this administration takes a good look at California and says that that's not going to happen under us. And whenever we have time to pull up AB 38, that's the second part of it. You can rape and impregnate a disabled child who can't see, talk, or hear. I sent it to G to put the clip up. You can rape and impregnate a child that can't see, hear, or talk in California. So the bill is AB 38. I sent the clip, everything to G so he can pull it up. And like I said, I'm praying this administration does not let this governor get away with this for the next 4 years, because this is honestly hell in California. It really is.
But
He acts like he owns California the way he
And
run that thing.
nobody stops him. Nobody has done
And then you
anything.
got Mother Jefferson there who look Maxine Waters, you know, and she
Kamala's
doesn't do
coming back.
anything.
Coming back.
Yeah, I saw that. She doesn't do anything but race bait
all
and
day long.
stare racist stuff. That's her job.
That's all she does.
Ain't doing nothing for her district.
They haven't been able to get her out though. Omar Navarro ran against her. Somebody else ran against her. Nobody has been able to get Maxine Waters out. She doesn't help any of the kids that have been abused, the minorities in juvenile halls. Those parents reach out to her. She doesn't. She doesn't help anybody. So this bill right here is the one I'm telling you guys about that they're trying to pass. So it'll be a felony when these pedophiles do these crimes to these disabled children. And like I said, Google it. In California, if you impregnate somebody, you rape them. When they're done with their little house arrest bracelet, they are legally entitled to co-parent with you until that child is 18. So if you thought, fact check it. If you thought people were lying about the stuff that goes on here in California, we're not lying about the stuff that goes on here in California. When that person gets out of their little program, they're legally entitled to have 50% custody of the child if the person decides to have the baby instead of an abortion. They have rights to their child. Don't you step in a family court saying I got a text message or a picture or anything that this guy did to me. Those judges do not want to hear it. You could have a whole rape case. You will be co-parenting with your rapist for 18 years. That's another thing people need to think about when they start jumping around talking about abortion is murder, abortion is murder. None of you clowns are at the courthouse when these people's rapists get out of prison and start wanting visitation. You know what I mean? When they get out of these little programs and stuff like that. Gee, where's the second part that I sent you of that bill so people can read it? So even right there, it goes into detail. I couldn't send it to him any bigger and blow it up, but it goes into detail that you've got some Republicans trying to pass this bill, so it is a felony in California, which doesn't make any sense because that should automatically be a felony. Who in their right mind? Who in their right mind wants to rape a disabled adult or child? And what kind of politicians here are fighting against it not to be a felony? This is real time, you guys. 2025.
They're everywhere. And Trump needs to let go of that Epstein list because
oh yeah.
you know, we'll find out all of those people and what they did.
Yep.
Are on that list. So,
and how did they get these kids? They came up missing from foster care.
So
supposedly.
You know, that Trump can't protect these pedophiles. Like you letting go JFK
send
files,
them,
MLK
send them.
files.
No, he needs to send them to El Salvador and build a special unit. That president already said you can bring your guys' criminals. It doesn't have to be the illegals. He's already said, bring your criminals, the citizens, over here to El Salvador. So there it is there. We got a whole nother, there it is there. Send them there. All of them.
Well, we still got Guantanamo, so.
Look, fill that up. Hey, fill that up too with the pedophile enablers. The ones that are saying, oh, we don't know where these kids came up missing at in foster care. You know where they came, you know where they're at.
I'm just wondering how many of them are donors and Trump is if Trump is going to protect them or not. That's more of my concern because you know the biggest pedophilia rings in the world are wealthy elite, global elite. So
and human trafficking.
Is Trump going to give these children justice, as he says he's one of the biggest advocates for child sex trafficking?
I believe he will.
So we need to hold them accountable. Like that should have came out before JFK and Martin Luther King, because we can find out about what happened to JFK and Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah.
We can't do anything about it. What we can do is stop these people who are still alive on that list, who are still harming our young people and women and men.
Yep.
So let that come out. Like there's some things that I would like for Trump to push more of a priority, and that's definitely one of them.
Well, Paulina over there in Florida is already mentioning the death penalty for people who do those crimes. I want to make sure that they know, not the people that are illegal. I want it to be the people that are sending them to foster care, the lawyers that have contracts with these people so they can have sex with kids. That's who I want to see in the death penalty, not somebody dragging, they bought a little girl and they're going over the border. No, that's just part of the problem. The problem on this side of the border is people know where to go to these corrupt judges, do these corrupt 501(c)(3)s and make the kid disappear. Those are the enablers I feel should be hung. If it wasn't for them transporting the child and signing off on the fake paperwork, we don't know where they're at, this problem wouldn't even exist. And if Trump will put it into place, like, let's get rid of the enablers, the pedophiles wouldn't have anybody to buy them from. A kid doesn't just disappear. You know what I mean? There's paperwork behind that. That's my thought on it. Get what's her name on it? Get Nancy Mace, she talks about how she was sexually assaulted. Get Alina Habba on it. She's been a family law attorney. She knows all the tricks in the trades. When you start speaking out as an attorney, she knows that the judicial district and all that shit, they try to shut you down. We need some strong leadership. And I believe that those three women need to have a meeting with Trump and get it done.
So Laverne, Nora said, how about doing a fundraiser, Laverne, and we can all chip in. I have donated and will again love what you are doing.
You know, thank you. The Cash App. Oh, we had that information up here for Curly's house. G, do you still have that information for the food bank? And do you have the clip? I'm sorry, G. You okay? There's Curly's house Cash App.
Thank you, Nora.
Thank you, Nora. G, do you have that clip on Curly's house and what we do? Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm asking for your support today. Thousands of Americans struggle to get food, and they wonder where their next meal is going to come from. But I'm here, been working with them for over 25 years to provide food to people that need it the most, right here at our community food bank. So today, I'm asking you for your support. Please provide a contribution to help make a real difference in our community and to help us feed people. And you can do it right here. Donate today on Cash App, and you will see the link above. Hey, okay, y'all. That's right here at Curly's house in Miami. And we do it every Tuesday and Friday. We start at 11 o'clock. People start coming here at 4 o'clock in the morning to sign up for the program. We have Miss Jenkins out there. She's 80 years old. And she's one of our volunteers. She enjoy coming here to help out. Prayers out for her. Her daughter passed. Her daughter was just 50 years old. She passed this week. So she's in Birmingham, Alabama, burying her daughter.
And rest in peace to Irv Gotti.
Yes, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. And rest in peace to Miss Jenkins' daughter also. And rest in peace to all of those that died on those plane crash. We have been having plane crash after plane crash and, everything else, And also, before we leave, Jean, can you play that clip from Malcolm X, please?
That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth.
Okay.
I was born 3 houses over from where Malcolm X was born.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The historical monument is still where his house was, but my family still lives in that house. So yeah, I had the Malcolm X blood on my street.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know he was born in Omaha, Nebraska, but he was born in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that much has not changed what he said in that clip.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The liberal is the one that always has something to say about the conservatives. Come back on the plantation. Come back to your plantation. It's time for you to come pick cotton. I never picked cotton.
Never.
Right?
Never. Neither did my family.
The man wrote me to my son, come back to your plantation to pick some cotton. I never picked cotton. I wanted to pick cotton.
You
my mama she wouldn't let me do it. At least I thought I wanted to pick cotton. I would have been out there running from every bug I saw.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We can't be Black foundational Americans according to the foundational Black Americans. If you weren't a slave and you didn't pick cotton, you're not a foundational Black American. And I'm like, y'all not foundational Black Americans. There were Black people here before slavery, and that's what they don't want to accept. But yeah,
Thank you.
There
And
were
that's
Black
so
people here
true.
before slavery.
It is so true.
You know, but they were like, "Can you trace your lineage?" I'm like, you know, maybe you need to look up some of the people who actually sailed to this country with Christopher Columbus, because that is my lineage. So, and then they're not even aware on how Black people actually came on ships as free people. Like,
They don't want to think. They won't think for themselves or research.
They don't get it.
They won't research, girl. You know that. Come on now. It's got to be a rapper out there telling them what to do. You know, a rapper or a model or some TikTok influencers. These people don't, they don't think. They don't Google shit. They don't know the Constitution. They don't know anything. You can't tell somebody, you know, do your research. Shit, that's like, They're like, what? What is that?
Elon became head of White House technology. He changed his title. The Doge is gone. So I'm like, what does that mean? You know? Yeah, he just changed. I think it was earlier today. Yeah, he's now White House tech support.
Yeah. All right, Elon.
Okay.
He ain't playing with him.
Right.
Y'all gonna know what his title is.
Digging through all the records that the January 6th committee that they deleted. Dig them records up. Get it all together. Oh, and just to let everybody know, the 2 federal agents that stalked me for over a year and a half have been fired by Donald John Trump.
Woo! There you go. There you go. A little bit of justice. Come on now. Come on. Hopefully they go to jail. Come on now.
I'm like, Lord, hallelujah.
Hopefully they go to jail. Look, go get you a pen and
the
paper.
Devil is a liar. Always remember that, people. The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
Okay? He gonna send you a version of, and he gonna make it look like it, but it's still all a lie. The devil is a liar. And the devil cannot stop God's plan for your life, baby. Like I told you, Travian, when that man said on that show, oh, Travian, you're going to get at least 9 years.
Right.
Remember that man said that? And I told him, I said, I rebuke you right now in the name of Jesus. She would not get 1 day. And
not a minute.
I said, you would not get 1 day, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
You know, as a matter of fact, I had Donald Trump privileges, because when we had to turn ourselves in, I went in, they counted my money, they took my mugshot and my fingerprints, and I walked back out in 14 minutes flat. So if you ever got to go to jail and you don't have Donald Trump privileges, I feel sorry for you. No, but thank you again, Laverne, for having me, and we want to thank Big Trip for coming on. You heard Nora. Hit that Cash App for Laverne. You know, she's doing God's work, and we've got to support her however we can. So thank you again for having me.
Oh, okay. And also, y'all make sure y'all follow Travian. Now, come on, y'all. It's over 3,000 people that's on this show right now. It's over 3,000, right? So if all of y'all follow everybody up here, that should give it's close to 4,000 people, right? So everybody go follow Travian, follow Letitia, and if you're not following me, also follow me, okay? And you can also, please follow me also on Rumble.
Yes.
That's Letitia page, y'all.
That's my page. Yep.
That's my page.
That's Travian. Y'all follow Travian. Let's get those followers up, y'all. Come on, y'all can do it. Let's get those followers up.
Thank you.
Come on, hoodies. Let's make it happen. So, in closing, any last words, y'all? In closing, there y'all are. Okay, follow me also on Rumble. Rumble, right there. Rumble. Rumble.
And thank you, G.
Thank you, G. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
and
G, for pulling up the clips.
Crew. We appreciate
Thank you,
all
guys.
of y'all, Joey, Bill, everybody. Thank y'all so much. And also thank you all to everyone that joined in today. Remember, y'all can catch us each and every week, Thursday, right here on what is this? StreamYard on X. at 3 p.m.
Eastern.
Thank you so much.
Eastern.
And thank you, Travian and Letitia, for joining me. And Big Trip, thank you for coming on the show also.
Laverne, can I say something real quick about my show tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow, I'm going to have Laverne on and a few other people to speak about human trafficking on the Perkins Report on Rumble, 11 a.m. California time, 2 p.m. Florida time. So you guys hop on, check out the Perkins Report. I've got some other politicians on too and some victims, and we're going to start spreading awareness and pushing the Trump administration to do something about this problem. Trevion, you can join too tomorrow if you want to. Let me know.
I'm traveling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time.
Safe travels. So until next week, to everyone that's watching, God bless y'all. We enjoy having you on today on the Hood Conservative Podcast with your host, Laverne Spicer, and my co-host that always covers when I'm going through, Travian. Thank you, Travian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will see you all next week.
Time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, y'all. Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm asking for your support today. Thousands of Americans struggle to get food, and they wonder where their next meal is going to come from. But I'm here, been working with them for over 25 years to provide food to people that need it the most, right here at our community food bank. So today, I'm asking you for your support. Please provide a contribution to help make a real difference in our community and to help us feed people. And you can do it right here. Donate today on Cash App. And you will see the link above.
I got my pants below my waist and another dance when I'm in this place.